I am definitely not forklift certified. Well, hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peaks Peak. My name's Lucas, and we are sharing our hobbies here on 38 acres in eastern Kentucky. And today, we've got a new piece to the puzzle in our woodyard, a new attachment that we want to share with you that I think is going to make a huge difference in our operation. If you keep up with our videos, you know I shared a video the other day about making firewood totes and then our plan to load them on the trailer, take them down by the road, and be able to sell the firewood so that we don't waste the slabs that come off of our mill. There's only one minor problem with my plan, and that is that our Kubota BX lift capacity is just not enough to make firewood totes a viable option, because I could lift one about half full, just barely high enough to put it on the trailer. Half full doesn't give you very much firewood, especially when you consider the fact that we're not stacking the wood in there. We're just throwing it in because I knew it wouldn't lift it if the wood was stacked in there. So today we're going to demonstrate the difference that actual true skid steer quick attach pallet forks will make in this operation. People have been telling me for probably about a year now, since I got the clamp on bucket forks, that I needed to get skid steer quick attach pallet forks. And guys, I'll just be honest with you, I couldn't afford it. I didn't have the money to buy the attachment that I wanted. So I had to make do with what I had, and that's how we got by. You could pick up those clamp on bucket forks for about 60, 70 bucks. And they were useful for what they were, but they do bend your bucket. We dented our old bucket and, you know, had a little bit of issues there. They also move the load out 2 feet further from the pins, which lowers your lift capacity quite a bit. And I was aware of all of those things. It wasn't that I was just too dumb to get the correct attachment for the job. It was that you make do on the budget that you have. And finally, we have been blessed enough to get a set of Artillian skid steer quick attach pallet forks that we can demonstrate for you. And I just want to say, you guys have seen me use the Artillian tool racks on my side-by-side and on the tractor. Got the chainsaw and everything loaded on the tractor today because we're going to go over and do a job when I finish with this video, cleaning up some brush and all of that. I use the tool racks on my side-by-side to haul all the tools and toolboxes and everything that we're doing. And when I say I use them, I mean they are a vital part of everything we do here now because I love them. Then we got the Artillian rock bucket and grapple, and that took us to a whole new level again. We're able to do things that I just never could have dreamed of. And now Artillian has been kind enough to send me this set of pallet forks to demonstrate for you and for us to use here in our woodyard. And I just want to say how much I appreciate them supporting the channel. It's the only way that I can bring this content because I can't afford to buy all of these different tools to make all of this stuff happen. I know some of you who watch are in the same boat, and trust me, I am not trying to make anybody feel bad that they can't have all of these toys. What I'm trying to do is demonstrate the different options out there so that when you are working on a budget, you can use that information to make the best decision with your money to be able to accomplish the jobs that you need to be able to accomplish. And I hope it's helping you. I know we're having a really good time doing it. So thank you for watching, and thank you Artillian Tractor for supporting us as we grow our YouTube channel. These pallet forks have some really cool features that I will demonstrate. The first thing being, these are legit heavy duty steel pallet forks. Each one of these tines weighs 60 pounds. So that's 120 pounds. And then the frame is 90 pounds. So you're looking at 210 pounds for the frame set. That is just a little bit over what your standard bucket weighs on your tractor. And I also know by the time you add clamp-on bucket forks to a bucket, then your weight is going to be about the same as these, but you're trying to lift from 2 feet further out. So it's going to be a huge improvement, I know. A couple of the features that I wanted to share about this. First of all, your pallet fork tines adjust. They have these nice locks on top that spin so that you can move them up out of the way. You can release this so that you can slide your forks back and forth and then lock them into place by dropping that pin down in the slot, and it holds them in place. So much more stable setup than what we were using before. The next thing I notice is that there is a receiver right here in the center, which is nice because I've tried several methods for adding receivers to my buckets and being able to move trailers around, and what I found is they end up too high and then you can't get up underneath the trailer to pick it up. So this puts it to where it's right down near the ground where you can go back up and under anything and pick it up. So really smart design on that. The next thing I wanted to point out is they've come up with this new graphite coating for the face that these pallet forks need to slide on. And this graphite coating, you can see it's starting to get scratched up where I've slid the forks around on it. And that's okay, that's the way it works. It's working that graphite into the finish on this so that they will be slick and they will work smoothly as they get broke in. So guys, I cannot wait any longer. I have to test this out. So first of all, this tote right here is the original tote that I did my test on, and I could not pick it up. So I'm gonna bring the Kubota BX over here and start with it and see if we can pick it up. So my first attempt here is actually a little bit embarrassing because I didn't realize that I didn't pull the forks all the way in under the pallet. I was excited to see that we could pick it up and move it, but I didn't realize that it's sitting out about 6 inches further than it should have been. So I'm kind of limiting myself here in this first test. All right, so definitely a noticeable improvement over the clamp-on bucket forks because we could not even tip it off of the ground with the clamp-on bucket forks. And I'm, you know, 1.5 feet, 2 foot off the ground here. So I can move these around. I'll kind of open that up so you can see how much wood we have in here. We're, you know, up to the, next to the top ring. And that's a decent amount of firewood. That's enough to where I could get them loaded on the trailer. And if I can load them on the trailer and take them down the hill, that will at least get us going. Now, I know that when it comes right down to it, if I'm doing big log work and I'm doing full totes of firewood, that there's no way around it. It's gonna take a bigger tractor than the Kubota BX because a full tote of firewood can weigh 1,600 pounds or more depending on the type of wood. The Kubota BX lift capacity is rated at about 700 pounds. We, of course, have talked about this before. We have our hydraulic pressure turned up to 2,000 PSI, so we're lifting a little bit better than that. I don't know what this tote weighs. I do know that I don't really want to be putting any more stress on the front axle than this anyway. So I don't really want to lift more than this with the Kubota BX. With the clamp-on bucket forks, where it moved it out further and put even more leverage on it, the weight that I was lifting was just as much tension on the front axle as what we're doing here with these pallet forks. So I feel like this is within the safe range of operation as long as I'm moving slowly and taking it easy when I do this. Anything more than this, and we're just simply going to need a bigger tractor. That may be something that we can do in the future, but like I said, I don't have an unlimited budget, so I can't just go buy a new tractor because I would like to have a new tractor to play in my wood yard. It doesn't work that way for me. This is going to be something that makes it manageable. I'm really going to get a lot of good out of these pallet forks. So I'm going to do just a little bit more testing and see picking up logs is with the pallet forks because I haven't done that yet. Because I think I would rather place logs on the mill with pallet forks if possible, because then you can avoid the bunks. I have drug the rock bucket on the bunks and scratched them up a little bit. I'm not worried about some scratches, but I don't want to dent them to the point that logs sit uneven and all that. If I can use the pallet forks to place logs on the mill, that's going to be better too. I just did a little bit of talking about the performance and how I could lift the tote 18 inches off the ground, and then I walked back and realized that because I'm a rookie at using the pallet forks, I didn't have the tote slid all the way onto the fork. So we may even be able to do a little bit better. Let's go ahead and give that a try. So now that we know to slide the forks all the way in under the pallet, man, this is a whole new world. Now there's no question we can lift these firewood totes high enough to put them on the trailer. So I'll be able to fill up about 4 of these totes, set them on my trailer, haul them to the bottom of the hill, and set them out by the road for sale. Yeah, so even more. And I had it set at about 3,200 RPMs there, right in that 540 range for the PTO. I could place this tote on my trailer easy enough, and it didn't really seem to struggle to pick it up like that. Now, that's absolutely what I was looking for. I felt like with the Kubota BX, being able to lift a tote with that amount of wood in it is about the best that I could expect. And what I may do is, if we continue to use the BX for this, I may actually just cut them off a little bit shorter, and this will be the capacity of tote that we use. That way I know how to load them. So that's exciting stuff. All right, I like that. I am definitely not forklift certified. I've got to get a little bit better at using them. But yeah, once I saw that it was not slid on there all the way, I realized, well, we've got more lift capacity there. This is completely sufficient for what we're trying to do. So now that we've got our first test out of the way, we'll start staging our firewood totes. We'll put the full totes in one area, and then I'm going to stage the totes that need some more firewood loaded in them next to the log splitter. Okay, so the next portion of our test, placing a big log on the mill with the pallet forks. I love it. Now, here's the thing. It's a little bit difficult to maneuver in here right now where I don't have my mill extension on, and so I can't center. I have to go around that post over there. It won't always be that way. But for right now, I have to kind of swing out and swing it in here. But I was able to line this up and set it down exactly where I wanted it and set it down softly and then move it around just a little bit. I love the grapple, and it's awesome for moving these logs around without getting them in the dirt and all that. But the one thing that I would have changed about using the grapple is the fact that I would scratch my bunks with the rock bucket. So the grapple is going to be fantastic for bringing logs out of the woods, placing them in the pile, and doing our brush cleanup and all the things that we've been loving it for. But for placing logs on the mill, it's going to be the best for being gentle with my mill and taking care of it. You can see really well what's going on with your pallet forks, and those 42-inch tines are out there where you can see the tips of them too, so that when you're trying to guide them into the slots on a pallet or whatever, you can see them. Where I had the clamp-on bucket forks, the bucket was up higher and blocked that view off, so that didn't work. So one of the things that works great about this attachment from Artillian is the fact that their frame is really lightweight. It's lightweight because all of the center is open on it and you can see through that. So it gives you better visibility as you're going in to pick something up as well. I honestly don't have anything negative to say about these Artillian pallet forks. The Artillian products are quite a bit more expensive than some of the cheapest pallet fork frames that you can buy. But you know it immediately. When you open the box, the way it's packaged, the way it's taken care of, the fit and finish, everything about it is premium quality. The older I get and the more I get my finances in order, the more I want to be able to make the decision to buy the premium products because they just hold up better, they work better. With some of the cheaper products, listen, I'm right there with you in the fact that sometimes it's my only option. And so if I want to be able to have it, I want to be able to use it, then I have to go cheap because it's all I have the money for. So there's a market for that, but man, if you have the option and the opportunity, stepping up to these is the way to go. No question. I learned a lot today just getting to use these pallet forks for the first time, and I figured out that they are going to help us progress in the Woodyard here by being able to continue to use the BX and do just a little bit more. That's kind of how all of this has to work for me. You know, I talk about it. I don't have unlimited resources. I can't just go out and buy bigger and newer equipment all the time and do all of these things. So I have to work at it gradually. I have to kind of allow my hobbies to grow with my YouTube channel so that my hobby can pay for my hobbies and I get to do these things. So I hope you enjoy growing with us, and we really do appreciate you guys watching our channel. You know, it's exciting to me because I'm learning all kinds of new things, and I watch the same people you guys do. I watch Out of the Woods with Nathan, and I watch In the Woodyard, and Outdoors with the Morgans, Daniel Arms, and Rock Hill Farm, and Piney Grove. Some of these channels that are into woodworking, you know, the sawmilling and firewood and all of those things, they have lots of big, nice equipment, and they're doing things that I just can't do because I don't have the resources or the equipment to do it. But we're gradually growing, and we're getting some exposure to some of those things that I never had before, so I couldn't learn how to use all of these things. And it's so exciting to me. I'm having such a great time with all of this, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. I really appreciate the support that I get from you guys. I appreciate the support from our sponsors. Until next time, don't forget to get outside and enjoy God's creation because it is beautiful out here. Just listen to those birds. Y'all have a good day.